Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection Workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling and saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, and a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, shifting into drive here on a Monday morning with Motormouth's Morning Drive. Well, good morning and welcome aboard. We've made it to a brand new week. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Weather held out for us. No craziness going on the south shores of Lake Erie and the Niagara region. Everything seemed to be under control. No smokages coming down on us. So let's continue to lift up those boots on the ground in the forestry department in the Northwest, different regions of Canada, and also the water bombers. Those guys are doing an amazing, amazing job as well, trying to get things under control. But it's that time of year, lightning strikes, ground getting super hot, things happen. So just lift them up and keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they do what they need to do to help us and to protect us from these and the small towns and stuff from these forest fires. So let's not take them for advantage, but let's think about them on a daily basis, that they're out there putting it out there, if you know what I mean. It's not a job for the squeamish. I thought auto mechanics was not for the squeamish, but how'd you like to be in the forest and there's fire around you, and yeah, it's you in the forest, right? Exactly. So boots on the ground, we need to think about them. All right, we got lots to get through this morning. We'll have our morning swiggy in just a moment, so get that prepared. If you're with us for the very first time, listen up. We'll give you the housekeeping bits and pieces so that you know how things work here in the Car Connection Workshop and Motormouth's Morning Drive. Okay, you have to have 16 pack of Crayola crayons and a pretty good pack of leaf bags. That's your Car Connection laptop. So that's where you can take notes if you're driving and just you're getting into the queue for the drive-through. Remember, it is Monday morning. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You might want to just flubdipple, quadruple, check your order, and we'll wait for you, and then we'll have our morning swiggy. So if you have a co-pilot, they get the crayons, the writing sticks, and the leaf bag to take notes, but if you can't, no problem. On the home page of our website is where you'll find everything that you'd like to follow the build and repair work that we do and connect with our program partners. And all our links are there and available at the top right-hand corner. So go to carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. I know that's a lot. I'll shorten it up for you. ccbusnet.com. When you get there, top right-hand corner, you will see the link for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the Web, which is a local website our videographer put together many years ago. And we are on there as automotive professionals. So you'll see bloopers, outtakes, and reels on all three of those platforms. You will not see anywhere else. There's our iHeartRadio link there as well. That's Mothership. We are on all the platforms: Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Podbean, wherever you're pulling your podcast from. Just type in the search bar Car Connection Workshop and you'll find us. But we have something even better, that after each podcast, when it goes live for 8 a.m., it goes live on our YouTube channel. So if you like, share, follow, and most of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel, you're not only going to see automotive repairs and maintenance being done before your very own eyes. We keep the podcast around a half an hour. Saturdays, an hour. That's our Q&A. So Fridays, if you have a question, you need to get it to me by noon, and that's motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. All this information is in the description box of our YouTube videos and also our podcast. So just so you know, if you don't panic, babies, we got you covered. On the homepage, you will see logos for businesses. Those are our program partners and recommended businesses. And we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without our program partners making a jump from radio almost a year ago over to fully digital. And it's great to be here with you and not have any boundaries. I got a comment this morning from someone from Australia, and I think that is so cool because on radio that never would have happened. And I think that's exactly... that kind of confirmed that's exactly what we want to do with Car Connection, is reach as many people as we can, teach you the feature benefits of vehicle ownership, all the basic fundamentals. So no matter what age you are, size, width, culture, it doesn't matter. If you have a car and you want to know how to take care of it, well, we had a great question on Saturday, and I thought I would share that with you quickly, but we'll do that after we do the morning beverage. And that came in from a young lady. I'm checking my notes here. That came in from Julie. That she purchased my very first car, excited and nervous about how to look after it properly. Respect your advice and guidance. Thank you. That was so cool. That made my day, because it sounds like a young person, and things are changing. Some of the, I was watching a video on the weekend, and I'll share that with you later on. But let's keep things rolling this morning. So because of our program partners that came along with us from radio, it's allowed us to have enough finances to basically cover the costs. That's it, of keeping the podcasts and the YouTube videos rolling. So here's where you come in. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please consider doing so. If you're enjoying the videos, enjoying the podcasts that are there, there's over 500 items for you to enjoy. And we keep the videos around 15, 20 minutes tops so that we're not eating up too much of your time. And I'd rather do a series, 1, 2, or 3-part series so that you can catch all 3 parts, and we're not taking up too much of your time as well. So you can come back and review part 2 and part 3 and enjoy them. And especially if you're just sitting down, you got a few minutes break, you'll be able to watch a segment and then pick up the part 2 and part 3 at another time. So if you're not subscribed, please do that. If you've been watching the videos and listening to the podcast, which a number of you have, just check and do Skippy and I a favor and make sure that you're subscribed. We're working diligently to get to our first 1,000 subscribers. We're over the halfway mark, so if you could grab a tank of fuel and the booster cables and get our big block V8 engine running, that would be fantastic. So thank you so much for that in advance. We do have a merch store. Again, for our newbies that may be tuning in this morning to the podcast or on our YouTube channel, we put 3 videos up every week, just as a reminder. 2 for Tuesday and 1 every Friday. Monday's our production day, so we'll be shooting videos today. I got some cool stuff for you to follow up on and show you how you can conquer things when things don't look so good. Yeah, don't give up. What you have to do is you got to come up with a game plan. As my good friend Deacon John would always say, Motormouth, you need multiple plan Bs. Okay. And it works. Multiple plan Bs certainly get you out of trouble. So our merch store is put together by Freedom Expressions. That is a portion of the Total Freedom Addiction campuses, Canada and USA. They make all the products on site. So whatever you order, don't forget your Car Connection coffee mug, and you can call that your beverage mug. It's okay. Whatever your morning beverage is, Ours is coffee. It's a Car Connection coffee mug for us. So make sure you order your items, whatever size, color, or whatever item you want. All the proceeds completely 100% turned back to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses, Canada and USA, where a life change happens every single day. So stand with the crew. Together we can make a difference. And thank you. And we appreciate that so much. Let's jump right in this morning. Morning Swiggy. We do that on 3, 2, 1, folks. So get your morning beverage ready. I've got some additionals to my herbals today because I finally got some more in stock. So it's going to be an interesting one to get back into the swing of things. But let's say thank you to Mama Louise and her wonderful husband, Earl Grant, who is a car enthusiast extraordinaire. And that's why it makes it such a delight to purchase a vehicle from them, because you can buy it with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. Low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. Check them out on our website. Just click on their link. Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. If they don't have what you're looking for, let Earl find it for you. You'll be very glad that you did. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that is interesting. Got all the components back in there now. All right. Whoa. I don't know whether I like it or don't like it, but I'll get back to you on that one. Well, let's take a look at the daily weather. Can you believe it that July is wrapping up this week? That July is gone already. I can't believe the summer, how fast things are rolling on. Well, let's take a look at the rainometer, RAIN. 0.85 of an inch in the Niagara region and south shores of Lake Erie today. I can't speak about what's going on in your own backyard, but hey, I wouldn't mind a poke at the British Virgin Islands. 84 degrees, low humidity, almost every day, pretty much. Sounds good. Yeah, might have to road test that sometime. 66 degrees right now. Woo! Mostly clear. The rabbits are out, just so you know. Partly cloudy conditions from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with mostly cloudy conditions expected around 8 a.m. And today's temperature range, 66, clickety-click, 66 to 82 degrees. Feels like 65 to 81. We're going to top out today at 82. Overnight low is going to be 66. We actually hit 79 yesterday. I was out at the woodpile for a while, filling up a load, trying to get stuff rolling in the right direction. I want to have the wood in before the ugly weather gets here, because last year it kind of snagglepussed us, and I ended up leaving a whole pile of split wood at the lot because we couldn't get back in. The weather was just bad, and it was mucky. It was gruesome. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, for making our morning swiggy and also our daily weather report available to you. And what they have available to you is that hour and a coffee discovery meeting. So if you have questions regarding investments, debt, estate planning, mortgages, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and making sure that you are medical power of attorney for your children that are 18 years or older living in your home, under your roof. Very important, mums and dads. If you have investments with the bank, let me tell you this. You need to get them out of there because you're not making any money. 3.99% is a joke. Tony and Larry have been around for over 50 years as fiduciaries, 20 plus years as my financial planners, and my brothers from other mothers. They're going to retire out soon, and they don't need any more clients. They have a team so that if you want to work with someone that's on their team, they will place you with someone who will take very, very good care of you. But sit down with Tony Miele or Larry Tetro and discuss the questions that you need proper answers to, not from advisors. And no disrespect, they're advisors. They're like apprentices. Certified financial planning professionals know tax laws. They know all the stuff that advisors don't. And they don't advise you of any of that at the bank. It's cookie cutter financials. That's what it is. They're told what to sell you, and you're getting the same flavor as the other person that just left the office. So no disrespect, but you got to know there's a huge difference here. A licensed mechanic versus an apprentice. A certified financial planner versus an advisor. They're different. They're at different levels of the financial playing field. So take advantage of that hour and a coffee. Leave your monies at home. Nobody's going to be selling you anything. They're going to be listening more than talking. So thank you to Tony and Larry for making Car Connections Morning Drive available to our listeners. And to the next gen, Kathy, David, and Dan Grimo at Niagara Block, they're there for you. At 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls in Canada. Building Canada since 1931. They have building supplies. They make the blocks right there on site. It's absolutely outstanding. That's all I can say to watch how that happens. And all the equipment was built and designed by previous generations of the Grimo family. So they have all the materials you need to create and build a foundation from the blocks up. They don't sell lumber or eavesdropping or any of that. It's the major foundation components that they have. They have rebar, they have angle irons, all that stuff, and then some. They have all your hardscape landscaping materials that you could imagine to create that beautiful backyard space that you've always wanted. So connect with Kathy Grimo. She has a list of contractors you can trust to put together the plan, schedule it, and get the work done so that you can enjoy that beautiful backyard space. Well, let's get into it this morning. We have a Motormouth summer maintenance tip for you again, number 22. And I discovered why the numbers aren't lining up with the calendar, because we don't broadcast on Sundays. Wackadoodle. Yeah, so we lose a day. See how that happens? Because it was cool how on the calendar it seemed to be following the numbers on the tech tips, and all of a sudden the cart went in the ditch with the pony, you know? And it's like, wow, what happened there? Well, math doesn't lie, right? Exactly. Okay, let's jump in. I've got fluids have purpose for you today. And there is a reason behind that, because I had a conversation with my friend Steve yesterday. And I asked him, he's a school teacher. He's been a school teacher for quite some time. I imagine he's pretty cool in the classroom with the kids. He's teaching grade 8 this year. He's a cool guy. I like Steve. And he's got a 2010 Toyota 4Runner. We're always comparing mileages. And so yesterday I said, Steve, clarify for me, what is the actual mileage on your 2010 Toyota 4Runner? And he says 644,000. I go, wow, I don't think I can catch you. I said, I'm at 400. I said, are you thinking of getting rid of it soon? Oh, no. No, I'm going for the million. It was, I really enjoy this vehicle. And, you know, the only thing I've had to really replace on it body-wise was the bottom of the tailgate was going out of it. He said, I found a rust-free one over in the U.S., and I replaced it. He goes, everything else is fine. I said, well, if I may ask, how have you been able to get to 644,000 kilometers on your 2010 Toyota 4Runner? Fluids. He goes, you got to change your fluids. He goes, people think they're maintenance free. He goes, oh no. He goes, I booked my vehicle in at the Toyota dealer here in town, and I said, I want all the fluids changed. I said, and then he went on to mention, they're not good for the life of the vehicle, right? And the service department guy said, no, not really. You're doing the right thing. So that's what he's been doing, making sure that all the fluids are replaced on time, every time, and you as well can reach 644,000 kilometers. You see, Do you see what I'm saying? Mileage doesn't matter, friends. We've all been brainwashed by the vehicle manufacturers and the mouthpieces. Yeah, the mouthpieces. Yeah, I think I like that name better. And the suits that we need. By the time you make your last payment, it's time to chuck the thing to the curb and put it in the recycle bin. See, that's what they like. But if you're smarter than the cat, then you're like Steve. No, I don't want to get rid of this thing. I don't need to buy another vehicle. I like it, and I'm going to keep it going. Fluids. So let's jump into this. Mileage does not matter, friends. Maintenance does. That's the secret to get you there. And I'll tell you, I watched a video that kind of opened my eyes wide open. I've heard that somewhere before. Yeah, that was a quirky flashback. I'm not going to tell you where I heard that and who said it, the talking heads. But anyways, yeah, they just want you to make the last payment, toss it, and go get another one. But the younger generation is thinking more about analog than digital. Keep an eye on that. I just subscribed to a young lady's channel. She's probably mid-20s. She put together a really, really good talk with facts. And I'm going, uh-huh. You ever watch something and you're going, uh-huh? Yeah, uh-huh. That's what I was doing. I'm going, wow. The young generation is tuning in. How many of you would like to own a vehicle that monitors your conversation, who you are, all that you do, your facial expressions, and selling your personal information to the entire world? Well, guess what? Think and think again. Do your homework, because it's here, folks. You're going to own a car and be making payments, and they're tracking you. All of you. What you say, what you do, your facial expressions, all of it. And it's already been happening. Just saying. So we're going to throw that out a little deeper in another program. So go do some research. I'm not the message. I'm just the messenger. And all of what I just said is absolutely real. It's not hearsay, rumor, or popular opinion. It's in your face. And the young generation is going back to, they're wearing analog watches, buying older cars and fixing them up with their pops for a reason. They don't want a part of this digital world. They don't want their personal information all out there and everything they're doing night and day and behind the wheel. So think and think again. It's gone way too far. That's why I saw this coming. That's why I have older vehicles, and they're simple and simple to fix, and you can keep them going like my buddy Steve. 2010 4Runner, 644,000 kilometers. Let's jump in. So I decided I'm going to dedicate this program to my friend Steve. Fluids have purpose. Number one, I've got 5 things for you. Yes, I do. Fluids protect valuable stuff. Very, very valuable, very expensive components. And it's very important that you understand where the fluids are, what they are, and what they do. And once you have that conquered, the rest of the stuff, which are mechanicals, things that parts that break, these fluids are protecting them. So if we can do our very, very best to make sure that the fluids are in top drawer condition, then guess what? The rest is easy. The rest is easy. Did you hear what I said about Steve's 4Runner? He said, you know, other than the tailgate rotting out, that's the only thing I've had to replace. Original transmission, original engine, all the drive lines, all original. He says, I get under there, I grease my U-joints myself in the drive shaft. I've never had to replace anything but one wheel bearing. Ding, ding, ding. That's what I'm talking about, friends. That's what Car Connection is all about. That's the lane I've been carving out for over almost 45 years now, and sharing my wealth of knowledge that I've been blessed with you folks through YouTube, so you can watch what I'm doing, and then you can also listen to what we need to talk about behind the scenes on our podcast, our Motormouth Morning Drive. You're getting a 1-2 punch. So fluids are protecting very valuable pieces and parts on your automobile. So how important are those fluids? They are of utmost importance. And I don't care who screams it from the mountaintop that they're synthetic and blah, blah. I've heard the stories, and it makes me want to go to a ditch and throw up. Because if you're willing to buy that, I've got some oceanfront property for you. You know where? Arizona. Yeah, it's going for a great deal. Number 2, yes, those fluids break down. Period. End of story. Again, I don't care what talking head, what salesperson, I don't care. They're fluids and they break down. When I worked on Mack trucks and Peterbilts, fluids break down. They get changed all the time. That's how these trucks going up and down the highways have over 1 million miles on them. Did you know that? They don't deal with 20,000, 60,000 kilometers on it. Millions of miles on them. Millions. So yes, they do break down. And what causes that? It's called thermal breakdown. The continuation of constantly being heated and cooled and heated and cooled. And here's a great test for you. I mean, many of you probably don't have this. A thermal heat gun. I mean, if you want to use your hand, that's entirely upon yourself. You go, ouch, the burner's on. Don't touch the burner. The burner's on. What do you do as a kid? You touch the burner. Of course you do. So if you want to tempt those fluids with your finger, that's entirely upon yourself. I do not recommend that. A thermal heat gun. I have one in my toolbox, and it's a great tool for diagnosing lots of things. Temperatures. If after you've been stop and go traffic, you took a thermal heat gun and you checked the temperature of the power steering fluid, transmission fluid, coolant, motor oil, and even, yes, brake fluid, you would be amazed at the temperatures you see on that thermal heat gun. And that's proof in the pudding. That's why I say, talking heads, take me on any time. I'm going to take your lunch money and your milk money and throw sand in your face. All with love, for sure. There's ways of testing everything and verifying whether it's good, bad, or ugly. It can remain in service or it needs to be replaced. You know, it's been a really long consumer scam with this maintenance-free stuff, and it's absolutely not true. And the only reason why it's worked is because many of you, that's what you want to hear. Isn't that true? When you go doing an opinion poll on something that's going on in your world, in your life, you're waiting to hear what? Don't ask me, Motormouth, what do you think? Because I'm going to answer you like this. No, that's not the question you really want to ask me. Here's the question that you really want to ask me. I want to know what you're going to say. If it lines up with exactly what I'm thinking is what I want to do. And if it doesn't, then I'll go to the next person. That's the question that you really want to ask me. You don't care what I think, period. When someone says that, I want to know what you think. No, you don't. For years, I used to write a list of top 10 vehicles. Motormouth, what should I buy? And I'd spend all my breath till I'm exhausted explaining each and every top 10 vehicle. And guess what you'd go and buy? Nothing on the list. Nothing. You'd go and buy what you already had your mind set on. What you were really asking me is, I wonder if he's going to say the vehicle that I'm thinking of buying. And when I don't, see, that's how that works. You'll go to the next person until you find someone who says exactly what you want them to agree with you on. Next question. Fluids are They thermally break down from the continuous heating and cooling, and it does not matter, folks. If they're synthetic, I don't care what flavor it is. It thermally breaks down and gets contaminated with particles. And that's where things start to break, because the fluids are not protecting those valuable components like they would if the fluids were gushed and flushed and brand new. They are not, number 3, lifetime of the vehicle. They are not. Please hear me out. They are not lifetime with the vehicle. They need to be replaced. And it's not being told the truth at the point of sale, because they know your ears tickle when they say, oh, you never have to service that. It's maintenance free. That's what you want to hear. But that's not the truth. It's a lie from the pit of hell, and it smells like smoke. And shame on those who are selling. I've been smelling what they've been selling since 1992, friends. And it's never changed. It's just gotten more and more and deeper into the lie that vehicles are maintenance free. Fluids are not maintenance free. When they decay, things are going to break. Things are going to cost you a lot of money to replace, i.e. transmission. Yep. Has to be replaced. Transmission fluid filter, if it's serviceable, needs to be replaced. Sorry to tell you. Sorry to burst your bubble on a Monday morning. Number 4, extended maintenance intervals is where it's going to cost you an arm and a leg on big, bodacious, expensive repairs. So number 5 is inexpensive versus components that they serve. Fluids are cheap, friends, in comparison to the components, the mechanical components that the fluids are protecting. They're protecting the big components on your vehicle. They're protecting, not costing you money. They're protecting. The fluids are kind of like this: insurance against wear and tear and breakage. That's why we teach the 5 things on our YouTube channel. Every video teaches 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how you broke it, and how we can teach you not to break it a second time, costing yourself money when you don't have it. You don't need to be doing the same thing over and over again. That's insanity. So fluids are inexpensive, again, versus the components that they serve. And when you listen to the talking heads and the salespeople selling you the maintenance-free thing, they're setting you up. You ready for it? They have already set you up, sold you down the river to buy the next car. Because they know if they can get you to buy into that, you won't make it like my friend Steve to $644,000 and it's still going. He takes that 4Runner everywhere, all over the map. Fluids. That was his answer when I said, Steve, how have you managed to get to $644,000? I changed my fluids, all of them, all the time. So tomorrow we'll cover what is the real maintenance interval for the fluids in your vehicle. And I would suggest get that 16-pack of Crayola crayons, get into our website, get yourself a Car Connection maintenance schedule, and really get going on your vehicle maintenance. Because what I talked about at the beginning of the program today scares me to pieces. And I don't get scared easily. Yeah, they've gone too far. And they're never going to get all my information from my vehicle. Facial expressions, what I'm talking about inside the vehicle. They're getting it all. Yeah. Our privacy is being violated by the talking heads. And the only way we're going to beat it is the mice got to get sharper than the cat. And that is, the young generation has really been thinking about it hard, and they're wearing wristwatches. They're going back to analog. where they can have their privacy and fix their car themselves because they're easy to work on. Ain't that something? I didn't know that was going on. But this is what happens when you do real research. I don't listen to the talking heads. I don't listen to the media. None of it. I have my outlets where I can find out what's really going on and what are the real answers to the circumstances that we're dealing with. Not the storytelling, not the Pinocchio storytelling, but real information, which is what we need. And that's why we're in this thing called life together. And I'm here to help you. You know, I could be off doing other things, but you know what? If I can help one person today, it was worth getting up at 4 a.m. for you. Seriously. We got some cool stuff coming up today that Skippy's going to be here in just a few hours. We'll be doing production today. I've got some things to follow up on with you and show you how to fix stuff that you think might be all is lost, but it's not true. So fluids, inexpensive versus the components they serve. And here's the Motormouth Summer Tech Tip. You ready for it? It's number 22. It's true. It is. Summer equals bug season. Yeah. Check the grill. That's what I call this one. Check the grill. You got to make sure the bugs are off of there. Hey, Motormouth here. Take a look at the front grill now and then, because bugs, leaves, gunk can block the airflow to your radiator and your AC condenser. A clogged grill might not seem like a big deal, but it can lead to overheating. Give it a clean swipe and let your engine breathe easy. It's so important that we have positive airflow going in through the hood of the vehicle because things are so tight in there. So if you have an area in the front of your vehicle that collects bugs, especially the condenser, and I talked about that as well. There's a video out on that on the FJ Cruiser, 2007 FJ Cruiser at 400K. Cleaning off the condenser to make sure that your your condenser has lots of airflow, and what sits directly in behind that is your radiator. So if the condenser is plugged up with bugs and leaves and stuff, guess what? It's running hot as well, and we don't want that. Heat is the enemy. That's what wears things out, and that's what we've been talking about this morning. The fluids get heated and cooled, heated and cooled, heated and cooled. They thermally break down, and they get particles in them that are like little pieces of dirt, and they're like files. They become like files, and then there's wear and tear. It happens after that. So we're going to dig in deeper tomorrow and talk more about the fluids, what they are, where they are, and what kind of protection they're providing for you and your wallet all at the same time. So till tomorrow morning, you can also grab this podcast on our YouTube channel. Again, please like, share, follow, but most of all, make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel so that you can watch all the repair work that we do there. And we got some cool stuff always happening in the Car Connection Workshop. So till tomorrow morning, happy, healthy motoring, peace, patience, and kindness always. Watch out for the other guy, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of Motormouth's Morning Drive. Bye for now.